Will En fight Uzi in the upcoming Murder episode 7. The two are often regarded as really close friends and may even have some romantic tension together, most notably when the two held hands in episode 6 Dead End, but stopped after V found it gross and Tessa told her not to date her robot, possibly because she wants a piece of that. Nah, she wants the whole thing. Come on guys, you know how she was petting my boy. Nah, but with all seriousness, the two have a very strong bond throughout the show and is definitely my favorite ship in the entire show. Some people ship N and V, but I really don't see it. Sure, he had a crush on her early on, and maybe even still does, but she does not seem to share the same feelings for him. Sorry NXV shippers. But in today's video, I will be discussing the possibility of the two fighting in the upcoming episode 7. Many have theorized that the two would ever fight, but this teaser leads me to believe that they may actually fight or at least have some tension between one another. Back in the last episode, Tessa showed En on a monitor the path of destruction that Sin had unleashed, and it was all because of her becoming corrupted by the Absolute Solver program, and explains to En that Uzi with the same program in her system and could become a threat at that level or maybe even worse, making En very sad that this is a possibility. But I think En wants to go the route of saving Uzi and helping her fix the Absolute Solver and maintain control and not lose herself. And no, I'm not talking Eminem. Tess on the other hand wants Uzi to be defeated before her Absolute Solver program has a chance to spread and become as evil as Sin. What makes me think that they will fight? Well, look no further than the episode 7 teaser trailer glitch just released called Final Destination, which I did do a breakdown for you guys the other day, so if that sounds like it's interesting to you, definitely go give it a watch. While the teaser was really fast paced with a ton of information flying by, if you slow it down and really analyze it, you could see that there's a lot more at play than we originally thought. First, we can clearly see Solver Uzi is back, and I do not think that her Solver is glowing red now. I think it's just a red light reflecting off of her, making her appear red, but she is definitely in the same form we saw during episode 4 Cabin Fever, and if you remember, this Uzi is a lot more violent and was responsible for many deaths of her classmates. So with this Uzi now back, no one can control her except for En, but what if En is not around for some time? That means that she will go on a rampage with no one being able to stop her. And with V dead, or at least missing in action, that only leaves Tessa there to continue the mission, and she already made it pretty clear what her intentions are regarding Solver Uzi. And we may see that plan being enacted in this shot with Tessa standing over someone holding a sword looking to strike whoever this is. It's hard to say who this is, but it's most likely Uzi since you can see the beanie right here in the left of the shot. And maybe Tessa here will attempt to kill her early on, and this will trigger Uzi to go into her Solver state, just like how when she was critically wounded by V and was able to bounce back and take over the fight, which may happen here. We also get a look at Serious En once again. This is really interesting because En only has this X on his eye when he's out for blood, just like when he used to kill worker drones. However, En is a good guy now and no longer kills, so what could cause him to be in this state again? Well, the way I see it, there's two possibilities. Number one, En is getting Serious to fight Doll after she nearly kills Uzi, because we can see them fight later in this teaser, and maybe this angers En to the point that he gets serious again, because many fans point out that En would become Broly if he ever saw anyone hurt Uzi. Number 2, Uzi accesses her Solver state becomes too far gone and it forces En to get serious and use force to get her to get under control. Okay, so while I was writing this very video, I asked you guys on my community tab what you thought, and someone had a really interesting theory, and this may actually be the case. You can see how red this shot is and how the glow from En is red. Doesn't it look very similar to the flashback Doll had of Serial Designation V murdering her parents in that flashback? Right down to the same color and atmosphere. So what if this is actually a flashback that shows En murdering Uzi's mom of Nori? And maybe this will anger Uzi so bad that she accesses the Solver form and completely loses all control out of the pure anger of losing her mother to the person that she trusted all this time. This would also explain why and how he looks like this again, even though he no longer murders. So it may be at the point in time where he was in the process of murdering someone, and that person may be Nori. People cite this scene in episode 3, The Promenade, when Doll says to Uzi that she is not the only one who's lost family to the disassembly drones, and then it makes this worried expression on his face before looking over to Uzi to see how she responds. But I don't think that this is En getting nervous that Uzi may find out his little secret. That seems pretty unlikely to me. It may just be En being scared of what's going to happen next because of this unpredictable situation. But I could very well be wrong, and this may be En looking a bit suspicious, but as of right now, this isn't proving anything. It just seems like a stretch, all things considered. It's still hard to say why En is in the serious state here, but let's just say this is him preparing to fight Uzi. Why would he have to fight her in the first place? Well, as I said earlier, it's probably because Uzi has lost all control of herself, just like in episode 4 Cabin Fever. However, this time around, she's unable to even be talked out of it like last time, and may actually be on the level of Sin here in terms of losing control. but if En was fighting Uzi, I don't think that he would be smirking, rather he would have a frown and look angry. When any of the Emergents have a grin, it's accompanied by that X on their eye, which means they're ready to kill and they're out for blood, since they find it fun to kill and apparently it's essential for survival to consume the oil of their bodies. Someone also said in my community post that he could be fighting Doll here, which would make sense because En normally would not be able to defeat Doll, but if he sees her or anyone for that matter threaten or harm Uzi, which we see during the teaser, it's very likely he would access this serious state. Many people say that quote-unquote serious En is putting it lightly, since he would be way more violent. But the naming doesn't really matter, since this state of being does not have much of a name as of now. I don't think it will ever get a name, so to avoid any potential confusion, I will be calling this Serious En. I'm sure everyone watching probably assumed this, but I feel as though 7 and 8 are so connected that it will work as a part 1 and 2 system, and we will get a major cliffhanger at the end of episode 7. Also, it is unclear whether or not Murdrons is ending with 7 and 8. They have not outright said, yeah, this is it. The only word surrounding the marketing is final episodes, which could mean multiple things. It could be the end of season 1, or it's the end of the show entirely with no hope of ever coming back. If it is really the end, I know we can expect a lot of Murdrons fans are going to make up all these conspiracy theories on how Glitch canceled Murdrons so they could focus all their attention on the amazing digital circus for all the money it would make. And while that is true that the digital circus gains far more views and Shrub dominates other platforms like TikTok in comparison, that does not mean it's better, nor does it mean that it's caused the show to flat out die. The best explanation is that Liam Vickers always wanted the series to end here and never wanted to make another season. Glitch said it themselves, they want to treat all their shows equally and give them all the same amount of respect throughout. However, if 8 ends in a way that could signal more episodes, then we could probably expect the season 2 to be announced in the next Glitch X event, but as of now it's ending with episode 8. The likelihood of En versus Uzi in a battle is pretty high, but it could very well not happen at all and the two would just have tension in their relationship and won't have to come to that. Also, some Pinhead also uploaded the trailer slowed down and broke 100,000 views. Yeah, because that's where they have 100,000 views, you guys. You guys are aware that you can slow it down yourself in the playback settings on YouTube, right? But let me know down in the comments why En may be violent in episode 7. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on the video here.